Namaste, friends. It is Monday, June 26th. It's 7:40, almost 7:45 in the morning, of course. 72 degrees, humid, cloudy. Feels like summer, yay, which is a good thing. I'm going off the beaten path. Okay, I'm down, I think it's someone's driveway. I have been watching on my walk. I always walk the same route, of course, leaving from home. Been walking this route for even before we bought the house. We had the rental property, basically the same neighborhood, a quarter mile away. So I've been walking the same route since we came here back in March of 2022. So pretty familiar with this route. And in these woods behind me, there's a driveway. I don't think it's still in use right there. And there's woods, and then way over there, there's a house up the street. Now, this little road that I walk on is a connector to the Catonsville Short Line Trail. Short Line was an old railroad that came off the main, it was a spur off the main road, and this particular short line that I'm on would take us to Springfield Hospital Center. Used to be an insane asylum, okay? Classic insane asylum. Huge brick structures built in the late 1800s. Not brick, stone. Huge buildings and very imposing looking, and it was just a huge facility. It was the second oldest facility of its kind that was built here in Maryland, the oldest being Sheppard Pratt, which is on the other side of Baltimore. And here, we have, this was built in the late 1800s, and it was built as an insane asylum. And as we know, we have done away with all mental health care and facilities in this country because we apparently don't believe in mental illness, or certainly not in treating it. Now, that being said, I am sure that these insane asylums were closed due to abuses and things like that. I mean, who hasn't seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or read that book, which, by the way, is such an interesting story, but I'm not going to go down that road right now. So, this facility was in service for a long time. Now, they closed it down. They have built some other modern buildings that are still in use. I'm behind me, Maryland, it's a psychiatric research center behind me, right there. So this short line basically was created to service the Springfield Hospital. So, Spring Grove Hospital, see? And there we go. It's the Rails to Trails that they've created this, and it's such a great system. However, that was just setting up why I was deviating from this trail. In the woods, I have seen, it's the silliest thing. Do you remember those old metal lawn chairs, particularly ones you could sit on and rock like that? They were springy, and they were always painted, and they were metal. There's one of them in the woods, abandoned. It's not on anyone's property. I don't know, it's on the there's this one house at the end of the road, and it's not on their property. And these are kitties. I'm sorry, kitties. Oh, they all ran away. We feed the kitties here. It's such a weird area where all this old housing for Spring Grove Hospital, and this housing was not. I mean, this was built not that long. It was built, obviously in the 20th century, probably late 20th century, for workers and such. And when the hospital shut down, they just shut it all down. And these relatively functional newer homes with central air conditioning and everything, hi kitty, have all been shut down. And it's just so strange because I don't know why. And the windows are broken and things like that. And it's unfortunate. I mean, people could be living there. But I mean, look at this. And that house was livable not that long ago. Windows are broken. And just look at it. It's just being just eaten by the environment. Anytime a house sits abandoned, it just goes to ruin very quickly without someone in it and doing even just basic maintenance. It makes me very sad. So that's the history of where I am. But this chair, I've been looking at this chair. The scary tree. Been looking at the chair for a while. Matter of fact, over a year now. I've been looking at it, thinking, I should go get that chair. Why is it just sitting there abandoned? And then it's like, part of me is like, it's got to belong to somebody. But maybe it doesn't. It's still sitting there a year and a half later. It's still sitting there. It's all overgrown. This time of year, I can't get back there. I just, we've got so many ticks and things, and I'm not going to go bushwhacking back there. And God forbid, if it's somebody's private property, I certainly wouldn't do that. But I'm always fascinated by it because I look at that chair and I think, oh, I want that chair. But I have a feeling the chair is destined to just sit there, and when the paint goes bad, it's going to rust away, which makes me sad. And I think that's a good metaphor for what bothers me today in our society. Things are abandoned and they just rust away. Houses are abandoned, people break them up and they're being eaten by the ivy, and just things are thrown away, deemed useless, unworthy. Here we are living in a time where there's an actual housing shortage, and these houses are just being eaten away. Nobody using them. The beautiful stone buildings that are part of Spring Grove are completely abandoned and boarded up, not used at all. The campus has, like I said, has some of the newer buildings on it, built in the 40s and 50s, that are still in use. But overall, when the asylum shut down, everything shut down. Wineberries, we like to call them wild raspberries. You can see we have, I see sometimes people coming here and foraging them and, picking them. And I mean, they're just prolific. But I know sometimes I look at people and I think, really? We got freaking Whole Foods, Giant Foods. We got all these places down the road. This is our bird food and our deer food. It keeps our wildlife happy. I love the wildlife here, and even the not so wild wildlife, the feral cats. But I enjoy, seeing the natural element here. Please don't forage all the food. I know that it's more than wildlife can, eat, I guess, but still, you don't need to forage it. I don't know, just my thought again, going back to all these abandoned things that are just sitting off in a side lot in the woods, rusting away. Perfectly good. Or it could be, obviously made to be perfectly good. It makes me very sad. And I guess that's what I feel like right now, in my struggle with my job, not being able to get a job outside of the one I have, being passed over at my job all the time, delivering above and beyond all the time, and yet all it gets me is more work. But they're not gonna give me more money or better anything. And I'm okay. I know I'm not my job, but I do feel like one of these abandoned places, use to the last bit what we can do for you, and then let's, do away with you. I'm gonna go up to the top of the street to show you something, and then I'm gonna come back down. So I think that's what my talk is about today. I woke up, I've been sleeping pretty well actually lately, and that is another topic. I started taking these little CBD soft gels that were created by, I got them free. They gave us a ton of these free at the last bike event we went to. And it was created by a biker. I mentioned this before, a cyclist. So I've been taking those, I guess it's been a week now. And it does seem to help my sleep. I am sleeping better. I'm sleeping through the night. Last night I did wake up. My husband he's dealing with a pain in his side that's very occasional. But it woke him up last night really hurting. So of course he's going to patient first this morning, urgent care to see what it is. Somehow he managed to do a 45-mile bike ride on the hills, and the 90-degree heat and high humidity yesterday, and he felt fine. I just hope it isn't anything. He's going patient first today. But as I was laying there awake because he woke me up, I had the Monday, the dreads coming up for Monday morning. Shame on me for dreading Monday morning when I work from home, but still it's there. My job is so stressful. So I flipped the script on myself and reminded myself how lucky I am that I don't have to go to work, that I'll be in my house, that I'll be in my office. How lucky I am I have something to do, I have a job, I'll make money, and God knows I'm lucky, and I do. I like the people I work with. I don't have a problem with the people. It's the corporate structure that bothers me. So I'm very lucky. And I kept repeating that. And I went back to sleep. Maybe that helped. Maybe it's the CBD. Who knows? But I did the old woo-woo positive talk, and I ended up going back to sleep. Yeah, that road is closed to through traffic because, as I said, the hospital's been closed. Shut down. And I wanted to walk to the top of the road because I wanted to show you the sign. Am I getting it? I'm on Asylum Lane. That's where I am, Asylum Lane. Took you right into the asylum that is no more. So I'm gonna walk down, I might walk through, I might take some pictures. Although I've gone through here, I used to walk through here quite a bit when I first moved here, just because of the beauty of the old buildings, and I enjoy looking at it, and just again that feeling it gives you to see these old places, these old buildings, these structures that were amazing at the time were just going to ruin. And the thing is, because they've been sitting abandoned for so long, things have gone to hell in a handbasket. And to fix them or retrofit them with modern standards of air circulation, clean air systems and HVAC and all of these things would be exorbitantly expensive. All that. So what they've done is, instead of utilizing them, they've let them fall to ruin. Now another problem comes in is that demolition is also extraordinarily expensive. So what are they doing? They're letting it sit. And they took this huge campus of all these stone buildings and everything. And I think it was late 2022, within the last year, they sold Spring Grove Hospital to UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, which is here. I'm close to the university. And they sold it to University of Maryland for $1. $1. So now UMBC owns it. Currently there is one turf field, one soccer field on here, and it's artificial turf, and that's used a lot by different sports groups. It's not exclusive to the university. And there's still a smattering of those buildings built in the 40s and 50s that are still in use. We have it's a minimal security, but definitely security facility for men is on this property. And there's also, as I said, the Psychiatric Research Center has a building. So those are still active, and a couple other, psychiatric buildings are still on the premises. But other than that, all the gorgeous stone buildings are gone. Now here I am. This used to be the gatehouse at the entrance on Asylum Lane. beautiful home. Yeah, abandoned. Abandoned, of course. Sitting empty, falling into ruin. It's unfortunate. And then walking down here, this is the old power station. This powered the hospital. And every now and again, I'll walk by and see crazy things happening there. They still have a fuel, I don't know what kind, propane, I guess. And every now and again, they have this burner that just spews fire. It's terrifying, but it's so cool. To my right, we have a bunker. Supposed World War II bunker. It could be evacuated to into the bunker. So, yeah, and I'm not going to do the tour. I'm just going to show you one more thing. Another part of the old entryway here into the hospital. Again, it's being held up, propped up. The ivy is eating the building and it's just being propped up. It just breaks my heart that they have allowed this. The money, the ruin is beyond my comprehension. So I started with the abandoned metal chair, the abandoned hospital, and I am going to end it here today. I wish everybody a lovely week. It's summer. Thank you to the powers that be. I'm so grateful for summer. Enjoy your day. Peace.